have covered almost all the topics. So this was the only topic that was left, okay, to be discussed. So today we are going to conduct the last class for this paper, organizational behavior paper. The topic that we are going to cover today is known as conflict management. Okay, what is meant by the term conflict management? First, we need to understand that. What is exactly meant by this term of conflict management? What it is all about? Now, I will give you certain examples. Already, I have sent you the PDF with the detailed notes on the whole topic. You will have to go through that notes. I will be explaining you what we are going to discuss. Overall, whatever is there in the notes, as well as whatever things we are supposed to discuss like regarding this topic, I will be telling you all the details. What is meant by conflict? Before we get into in detailed knowledge about conflict management, we are going to first understand what is meant by the term conflict. The term conflict basically means strong disagreement. Okay, so what is conflict? Conflict is nothing but strong disagreement. Now, I will give you examples of conflict. There can be internal conflicts. There can be external conflicts. There can be interpersonal conflicts and intrapersonal conflicts. I will give you a simple example of internal conflict. Okay. For example, a girl or a boy has a habit of unfair habit of maybe smoking. Okay. Internally, within your mind, your friends, your parents, your teachers always keep on telling you that if you smoke, it will be harming your health. Okay, you will be internally getting affected. All of you know this. Every one of us know this particular thing, but still people smoke. But once they fall ill, or maybe at times when they feel that they are having some kind of difficulty in breathing or something, internally there is a conflict that goes on whether I am going to continue with this bad habit or shall I leave it. And if I want to leave it, since it's an addiction right now, how can I leave it so fast? What are the things or what are the steps I will have to do? You will see some of the smokers at times, when they try to leave smoking or when they try to quit smoking, they even go to the shop to buy maybe, but again, they make it a point that no, I will only have 2 cigarettes. I will not have, like I used to do. I used to have a full packet of cigarette in a whole day. I will not do that. Let me try to keep it to 2 cigarettes or 3 cigarettes. So that is internal conflict within his mind, within himself. This conflict of whether I'm supposed to do or I will not do, that conflict always happens. This is internal conflict. Okay. External conflict. What is external conflict? For example, your mother tells you that exams are nearby. You have to start your studying. You have to sit. You will not go out. No, you will not go out with your friends today. So what you have is, at that moment, you tend to have a tiff with your mother. You tend to have an argument with your mother, stating that no, I will go out right now. Let me just go out with my friends for maybe for an hour. My mind will get freshened up, and then I will come back home and I will sit and start studying. That conflict which you are having outside, which you are not having within your mind, but you're having a conflict outside, that is going to be your external conflict. Okay. Now, what is conflict management? First, let us understand what is that. Because see, whatever notes I have sent you, that is out and out theoretical, bookish definitions, bookish instructions. Okay. But first, you need to understand it within yourself. Then only when you read my notes, you will be able to clearly visualize what I have discussed. Okay. So now we will discuss about what is the concept of management. Why is conflict management important for us? For example, whenever there is a fight in a village, whenever there is a fight between two big communities, for example, always you will see they all report to panchayat. Why do they go to panchayat? Because the panchayat is the management who is going to help the people who are having a fight to bring a solution, and there should be a neutral thing. Okay. Similarly, if there is a fight or if there is something really bitter fight going on, then at times, people complain to the police. Why? Because the police comes and police intervenes to bring a solution to a fighting or to a problem or to a discontent. Similarly, these people basically at that time act as the management who are trying to resolve a conflict. Similarly, inside an organization, since we are dealing with organizational behavior, inside an organization, time and again there are various types of conflict that comes into existence. Why conflicts can come up? First of all, conflict can come up between the employees. For example, if my salary is not getting increased, but some of my colleagues, their salaries are getting increased. My salary is not getting increased, but some of my other colleagues, they are having a good salary increase. What happens at that time is there comes within myself internally, there comes a feeling of discontent, and I internally will be having a conflict, or you internally will be having a conflict, whether to give my 100% or not, because even if I am performing, the management is not looking at me, the management is not trying to give me a promotion, the management is not looking at my hard work, and neither I'm getting increment nor I'm getting a hike in salary. So I will have an internal conflict inside the organization. So there lies the role of the management in the organization to be very specific, to be very neutral, to be very efficient in managing all the employees in the organization so that the conflicts never arise. Okay. Conflict management is basically that technique of management, because every organization consists of innumerable employees having innumerable mindset, having innumerable method of working. Okay. So it is the role of the management to always coincide, resolve any conflict which comes up. Now, for example, within the organization, external conflict, how it happens? For example, your supervisor comes up and tells you, you will have to do the work in this manner. But you believe, as an employee, as an educated engineer, you believe that no, I can also do the work in that other method. Okay. For you, the other method might be equally fruitful, might be equally beneficial for the company, because ultimate aim of every company is to earn profit. Okay. So your methodology of working might not be same as your supervisor's methodology of working. So what you want to do at that time is you want to implement another method. At that time, you get into a conflict with your supervisor. That is external conflict. He tells you that no, you have to follow this method, and you tell that no, I can do the work in that other method as well. So these kind of conflicts will happen in an organization, and how to eradicate, how to smoothen the conflicts, what are the techniques that a management should develop in order to build those conflicts, in order to get rid of those conflicts, is what we will discuss in the class today. Okay. Now I will directly go to the notes that I have sent you so that you people now can relate to what I am telling you. See, the definition which I had given you, it is written there. Conflict management is the practice of being able to identify and handle conflicts sensibly, fairly, and efficiently. Since conflicts in a business are a neutral part of the workplace, It is important that there are people who understand conflicts and know how to resolve them. What does this particular thing mean? Let us now think of it in a different manner. What does it basically mean? Let us see the notes. It's given there. Conflict management basically is able to identify, to handle conflicts sensibly, fairly, efficiently, since the conflicts in a business are a natural part of workplace. This highlighted portion, what does it basically refer to? It is basically saying that any organization, be it a small organization or a big organization, it does not matter. Ultimately, the main aim of the organization is to neutralize, is to eradicate efficiently, fairly, and sensibly any kind of conflict that tends to occur. Okay. Then just see, this is important in today's market more than it was previously, because everyone is striving to show how valuable they are to the company they work for, and at times these can lead to disputes from other members of the team. Now look at the highlighted portion which is there on the screen. It says a very simple and a very obvious thing which is currently happening in today's world. It is saying that in every organization, people, those who are working, they have a tendency of out and out showing their performance. They want to show their performance out and out to the management, saying that, see how well I am working and how great I am as an employee. This basically they do because they want to show their credibility. And this basically leads to a lot of conflicts and disputes at times within other members of the team, because everyone is into a competition and everyone wants to show that I'm the best. Okay, so this can arise a lot of conflict. So this is what is the definition of conflict management. Now, the conflict management, there are types of conflict management. We will discuss about the types first. There are four basic types of conflict management. Intra-individual or intrapersonal conflict, interpersonal conflict, intra-group conflict, and intergroup conflict. So there are basically four types of conflict: intrapersonal, interpersonal, intra-group, and intergroup. Okay, we will discuss about each of these conflicts one by one. Intra-individual or intrapersonal conflict, what it is all about. Conflict can be intrapersonal, where an individual's objective and vision differ from his or her company's overall vision. This refers to a conflict within the individual. As I told you, your manager must be talking about the vision by which the organization is working, or the methodology by which the organization is solving or working with a particular thing for a long time. But you have been educated, you have been a modern engineer, and you might have other ways and methods to do a work. That will create an intrapersonal conflict within you. That is whether to follow the overall company's vision or to follow your own vision of working. Intra-individual conflict arise from frustration, numerous roles that demand equal attention, but is right always possible to devote goals having both negative and positive aspect? Based on this, there are three intrapersonal conflict: goal conflict, conflict from frustration, role conflict. There are three different intrapersonal conflict. That is goal conflict. Under intrapersonal, there are three types: goal conflict, then conflict from frustration, and role conflict. So basically, four broad divisions are there in conflict management: intrapersonal, interpersonal, intragroup, and intergroup. Now we are dealing with the first type of conflict, which is intrapersonal or intra-individual, you can call it, which is again further subdivided into three different types. That is goal conflict, frustration conflict, and role conflict. Okay. Now we will discuss about what is meant by goal conflict. Goal conflict, from the name itself as it suggests, goal conflict is a common source of conflict. Common source of conflict for an individual is a goal that has both negative and positive features. Okay, goal conflict is more complex than conflict from frustration, because goal conflict occurs when the attainment of one goal excludes the possibility of attaining another. What does it mean? I will explain you that first. Goal conflict, basically, it says that you have one particular goal to achieve. Okay, it is not that frustration conflict. The main reason for this is more complex. Okay, because you might have two or more competing goals. Your competing goals can be both getting a promotion or getting a salary hike. Now you have to think which goal I will achieve before. Whether I will have to work hard to impress my supervisor to give me a promotion, or to ask my supervisor to keep me in the level of junior engineer but to give me a salary hike, or to increase my DA, or to increase my some kind of allowance, or to increase my incentive. What is my goal currently? That is your internal conflict. Okay, you are thinking internally कि मुझे ये करना पहले चाहिए या मुझे वो पहले करना चाहिए. So you have to be very specific. This is goal conflict. Okay, goal conflict. Within goal conflict, you will see I have given 3 bullet points: approach conflict, approach avoidance conflict, and avoidance conflict. Approach conflict is where the individual is motivated to approach two or more positive and mutually exclusive goals. Approach avoidance conflict is where the individual is motivated to approach a goal, at the same time is motivated to avoid it. Okay, and avoidance conflict is where the individual is motivated to avoid two or more negative but mutually exclusive goals. So under goal conflict, there are again 3 methods or reasons, you can say, where there are or you can say 3 aspects or based on which goal conflict is studied. Okay, these are basically method of studying the conflict management. Next is conflict from frustration. Frustration occurs when a motivational drive is blocked before a person reaches the desired goal relevant to their behavior in the study of organizational behavior. What is it it's saying? Frustration, when will frustration occur? Frustration automatically will occur when your goals, your aspirations, your motivational factors, whatever you wanted, those things are not seen, those things are not considered by the management. Automatically a sense of frustration always tends to occur. Okay, this is called frustration conflict. Last one was role conflict. What is role conflict? The final reason for intrapersonal conflict is the need of an individual to play several roles simultaneously, but finding time and resource inadequate to do so. Within an organization, let us think of this particular college again. Let us take the example of our own college. There are professors who are not only involved in teaching, they are also doing a lot of management works along with teaching. You have seen there are they are supervising the hostels, maybe they are supervising maybe various literary clubs. Some of them are supervising, some of them are supervising scientific clubs, some of them are doing certain works with the management directly. So they are not only concentrating on teaching, they have other roles within the organization. Okay. Now that role conflict occurs internally within those people at times when they do not find adequate resources to deal with their roles. For example, as a teacher, if I do not find adequate books, adequate notes, adequate material to teach my student in the library, then it will be difficult for me to come and to give you a lecture on a particular topic. So that is what is resources. So whatever role you are playing within the organization, if there is inadequate resource, then you will definitely have this problem. You will definitely have a role conflict. Okay. Now we will discuss about the second type of conflict, which is interpersonal conflict. We have discussed about intrapersonal. Now we will discuss about interpersonal. Interpersonal conflict, what are these conflicts? It is between two colleagues arising from a host of reasons ranging from difference in personality, work style, and personal background. Similarly, I will just give you an example of your classroom. All the time, is it so that you always agree to your another classmate? If your classmate has a proposal, 10 of you will always disagree with that person because of various reasons. It is not because you don't like him. ऐसा नहीं कि उसको पसंद नहीं करते तो उसका वो जो भी बोलेगा नहीं सुनेंगे. No. Basically, your mind frame is going to be different. Similarly, in an organization, there are various people working with various different personalities. We have already done personality traits long time back in our class. So they have various personalities. They have different working style and they are coming from different personal backgrounds. Your background will not match with my background. Similarly, for that reason, my mind frame might not be same as yours. Okay. So disagreement happens. This is what is interpersonal conflict, where two colleagues working together might have host of reasons to disagree towards each other. Okay. Now, this interpersonal conflict is further divided into three broad divisions: personal difference, lack of information, role of compatibility, and environmental stress. So, interpersonal conflict, which happens between two or more colleagues, based on their background, based on their work ability, based on their mind frame difference, it is further divided into four broad categories: personal difference, lack of information, role incompatibility, and environmental stress. What are they? Personal differences. Let us just look at personal differences. Due to difference in upbringing, culture, education, experience, values, and traditions, family backgrounds, there might be interpersonal conflict. What does it say? Very simple. Your personal background, your family background, your traditions might not be same as mine. So might be when we are sitting together, some of you along with me, when you are sitting together with me, might be at times your thinking, your mind frame, your ideas might not match with that of mine. Because my upbringing, my values, my culture, my education, my experience is different from yours. So that is one of the reasons for this disagreement, for this conflict, which is called personal difference. Okay. Second is lack of information. Lack of information is occurred because information deficiency often results in the communication breakdown. For example, if I do not give you proper information, then there will be a conflict that you did not give me full information. How am I going to work? Because always remember, interpersonal conflict will happen between two people. That two people might have different cultural background, that two people might not communicate properly. There can be uneven distribution of information. If I do not give you proper information when I will take the class, or if I will take the test or not, or if I don't teach you a particular topic and I ask you to answer questions, there will be a conflict between the teacher and the student also. So that is lack of information. Okay. Next is role incompatibility. Role incompatibility could also be the source of conflict in present day, because it is interdependent, because everybody is interdependent and individual's role all depends on the compatibility with each other. So everybody working in an environment should be compatible to each other while they are working. Last was environmental stress. Environmental stress is within the organization. If there are interpersonal conflicts and they do not get resolved, then it tends to create a stressful environment. Stressful environment happens due to downsizing, competitive pressure, lack of resource, and high level of uncertainty among the employees. What are the reasons of environmental stress? Number one, downsizing means job से निकाल दे रहा है, सैलरी नहीं दे पा रहा है, रिसेशन आ गया, डाउनसाइज करो. डाउनसाइजिंग, जॉब चले जाने का डर. Downsizing, lack of resource, competitive pressure, high uncertainty, whether I will have this job or I will not have. That arises a lot of stress in your mind. And if there is stress, you will always have a tendency of having a conflict with your colleagues. Okay. The next type was intra-group conflict and inter-group conflict. What does it say? When an individual is against a group and is either unwilling or unable to conform to group dynamics, he or she invariably leaves the team due to intra-group conflict. Means if there is some kind of discrepancy within a group, some members in the group are not able to associate with the methods or the group dynamics, and some of them leave the group. So that is intra-group conflict. And intergroup conflict is the conflict which happens inside the group where two teams are involved, okay, and there is a competition. Organizational conflict arises because when the goals, interests, and values within the group does not match, and there is a problem which tends to occur at that time, intergroup conflict can happen. So up till now we have discussed about what is conflict management, how is a conflict management occurring, and what are the types of conflict management. Okay, now the last part of conflict management that we will discuss about is the technique. What are the techniques by which conflict management can be taken care of, by which conflict management can be downsized or can be made less? Okay, sorry, how the conflict management can be done and how the conflicts can be made less in number. So what is it? Number one, a conflict is a situation, I already discussed that, it's forcing, which is also known as competing. An individual firmly pursues his or her other concerns despite resistance. Okay, the forcing, when you force, if a manager always has a tendency of forcing, then automatically there will be lot of discontent and people might not willingly work. Okay, so we need to be very much cautious about the thing that within an organization, even if you are trying to make the people work without any problem, without any difficulty, without having a conflict, then you should follow the following steps. What are the following steps? The following steps are certain basic strategies. Okay, what are the strategies? Number one, emphasizing organization wide goals of effectiveness. You can note this down because this portion I have not given you in the notes. I thought of explaining you in the class. It said there are just 4 points. I will tell you, just note them down. These are basically how, or you can give the heading as strategies of preventing conflict. Only 4 points are there. which are very important and you need to understand. So that is why I decided to make you note down the points while I'm explaining. Other things I've already sent you in the notes. All the details, rest of it is there in the notes. Whatever I have explained. Number one, strategies of preventing conflict. Number one is emphasizing organization-wide goals and effectiveness. What does it suggest? It says that focusing on organization-wide goals and objectives should prevent goal conflict. If larger goals are emphasized, employees are more likely to see the big picture and work together to achieve corporate goals. What does it mean is, this point, emphasizing organization goals and effectiveness, this means that all the organizations should make their employees look at a larger perspective of the organization. छोटा चीज दिखा के उन लोगों को अगर काम करवाने की कोशिश करेगा कोई भी organization, then there will be conflicts. All the employees within an organization will have to be brought to the same level, same platform, and they will have to be shown one particular goal. That particular goal which the organization is trying to achieve. That is why today Google or Microsoft is so successful. Why? Because their aim was a singular aim. Their goal was, as a company, their goal was a singular goal. They were all emphasizing in targeting their business to be spread worldwide. Today, without Google, nothing is being thought about. We are all dependent on Google, be it for our studies, be it for our entertainment, be it for our job prospect, we are all depending on it. So if the employees within the Google always thought about their own personal inter-conflicts or intra-conflicts, then this wouldn't have happened. So your organizations or the management's first aim should be to emphasize the organization's wide goals and effectiveness. Okay. Number two, providing stable, well-structured task. This is the second strategy to resolve the conflicts. Providing stable, structured task, well-structured, stable task. What does it say? When work activities are clearly defined, understood, and accepted by employees, conflicts shall be less in number. What do I mean by this point? It means that every organization should be clear about what task they are giving their employees. Understood? You as a manager or you as the management of any organization should be able to define the task and should be able to give a concrete, complete, clearly defined task to the employees. Because if there is uncertainty, then the risk of conflict will be very high. Okay. Point number three, facilitating intergroup communication. This is the third point, third strategy of preventing conflicts. That is facilitating intergroup communication. What do I mean by that? Misperception of the abilities, goals, and motivations of others often leads to conflicts. So, efforts should be given that dialogues among the groups should increase and sharing of information among the groups should also be increased so that it can eliminate conflict. What do I mean by this? That is, the management should be proactive. The management should be the one to take care, should be the one to be proactively allowing their own employees to be interacting within themselves in the group, sharing resources, sharing ideas. Means divide and rule policy. If you do, then there will be a lot of conflicts within the organization. So divide and rule policy should be banned and the organization should allow more of team working, should allow more of intergroup communication, sharing of data, sharing of information, and discussion, dialogue, so that a better goal can be achieved. This was point number 3. Last point, which is the strategy for preventing a conflict, that is avoiding win-lose situations. Avoiding win-lose situations. What does it mean? If win-lose situations are avoided, less potential for conflict exists. When resources are scarce, management can seek some more of the resource sharing to achieve organizational effectiveness. Moreover, rewards can be given to contributions for overall corporate objectives. This will foster a climate in which groups seek solutions acceptable to all. What does this mean? Very simple. In simple language, if we try to understand the 4th point, it says that when there is a scarcity of resource within the employees, while you are working, if you see, I will give the example of me and you people. If I am the manager and you are my employees and I am giving you a task of doing an assignment, what you will do is I give you a probable topic on which I ask you to make an assignment, okay? What will you do? You will search Google, you will look into various books available in the library, you might even search in internet, you might even go to YouTube for getting some data accumulated. But ultimately, these are the resources which you have and you exhaust all the resource. But if as a manager, if as a management, I do not give you some resource from my side, how will you make your assignment better? So my aim should be avoiding win-lose solution. तुम लोगों को नीचा दिखा के, तुम लोगों को हरा के, अगर मैं कोशिश करूं as a manager to show that I am the best, as a teacher to show that I am the one who is the supreme, मेरे अलावा मेरे बिना तुम लोग कुछ नहीं कर सकोगे, if I try to portray that, then ultimately my aim as a teacher to help you to learn a particular topic or to learn a particular paper, that aim will become zero. Because if I don't provide you with resources, if I don't provide you with my helping hand, then ultimately your work will remain half done. You will not be able to reach that perfection. So win-win solution is to be adopted. We should avoid win-lose solution. We should accept win-win solution. So these were the 4 methods or strategies that we should adopt in order to resolve the conflicts within an organizational boundary. What are they? Number 1 is emphasizing organization widespread goals and effectiveness. Number 2, providing stable, well-structured tasks. Number 3, facilitating intergroup communication. And the last one was avoiding win-lose situations or win-lose solutions. Okay, so these were all about conflict management. I have discussed the full topic of conflict management that you needed to learn, that you needed to know. Now I will tell you one more thing, since it's our last class. In case if you find any difficulty in studying anything in this paper, or in case if you need any help, I'm always ready to help you. I'm always available. Moreover, I will send you on conflict management. There is one more PDF, a short PDF. This was a longer version covering all the topic. Just a small PDF, whatever I discussed right now. If you need, I will even make a note on that and I will even send you that as well. Okay. So thank you all. Have a nice day. And Deepak, please send me the list of the students, those who are online, because currently I can see Anand Kumar, Ashwani Kumar, Deepak, Dhruvo, Gurudeep, Manisha, and Neena. But Ashutosh was there online. I had checked. He was there for quite some time. He was also online. And okay, Deepak, you have already sent me roll number 31, 28, L34, L38, L31, L30, 14, L37, and 29. These are the students, those who are present today. Okay, thank you all. And in case if you have any difficulty, please get back to me. I will always be there to help you regarding this paper. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a nice day.